Bloomberg Audio Studios.
Podcasts, radio, news.
Single best idea on the slowest week of the year. Well, maybe the last week of December's the slowest week of the year. Or maybe it's the last week of August. Whatever, it's not this year. After the Powell speech, and it was an extraordinary speech, I've gone back and reread it twice. Thank you, Claudia Sam. She said, Tom, shut up and go back and read it twice. I did. And I love the last paragraph. We featured that today on Lessons Learned, the humility of this crazy economics, finance, investment, and international relations we do. But it was an eventful Monday today, no question about that. Thank you to Jumana Bersace of Horizons out of Dubai. Look for that on Bloomberg Television. And on Her Lebanon, really talking with some emotion about the view south from Beirut towards Israel, and of course all that Israel's experiencing as well. Ethan Bronner from Tel Aviv helping us out this morning. On foreign exchange, on the new week dollar, it's always good to talk to Daragh Maher. He's with HSBC here on the week dollar.
It's weird. The market seems to want to dislike the dollar, right? And so for a period, they said, well, the reason to dislike the dollar is the U.S. is heading to recession. And they said, well, actually, no, it's not. Now the reason to dislike the dollar is because the U.S. heading for a soft landing. And it feels like it's gotten beaten up the last couple of months. I think it's ready for a bounce. I think it's ready for consolidation. We've constructed a narrative that fitted the price action. But really, is the U.S. economy in such bad shape? I'm not convinced. And then I always come back to the question is like, I joked with you, why will I like you in Ireland? But why do people like the euro? And you kind of go, well, it's not the dollar. But I think that only gets you so far, right? And if you actually go, why do I like the euro? It feels like a pretty short conversation. So I think that's also part of the rationale for why you can get back to 105 in euro dollar.
Daragh Maher there, agreeing with Jeffrey Yu of BNY Mellon there on that target of euro. Weaker euro, stronger dollar, migrating from 111, 112 to a weaker euro, 105 is where those two are looking. And, of course, always open to a debate. That's what makes the market go. I would note DXY, the blended large country index, the traditional index, goes 105, 4, 3, 2, 1. A break below 100 would be a huge deal. I don't have the BBDXY, the Bloomberg Dollar Index, in front of me, but it's a much better series, including EM, including China. It's a much richer set of data. Look for the Bloomberg DXY, BBDXY in the terminal. It's out there publicly as well. It's a very important series. Every once in a while, someone walks in the door with incredible accomplishments in a topic that we all feel so certain about. Brad Case, out of the Yale Combine of Schiller, Getzman, and others, chief economist Fannie Mae for years. He's now working for some people, Middleburg Communities, trying to do rental real estate in a more constructive way. We talked about that, but he was devastating, and I think one of the great canards that's out there, that real estate is a way better investment than a blended stock market average. This is maybe the most important conversation of the week, and it's only Monday. Brad Case on stocks or real estate.
It turns out that what's most important is that when you buy a house, you have to put a gigantic amount of money into an asset that appreciation is very low. If instead you rent a place, whether it's a house or an apartment,
you can go invest somewhere else.
You put that money into the stock market, and that is a much better investment. The total returns on real estate are much, much lower than in the stock market. And I've actually done this analysis with data going back to the early 1970s. Most of the time, people are better off renting than owning in terms of building wealth.
I can't say enough the importance of that. I also can't say enough how so many people disagree violently with Brad Case over that. People forget about the leverage taken within a mortgage structure of housing and the risks that entail. Many of the people have not enjoyed real or nominal house price decreases. And a lot of people, and particularly the marketing of real estate that I see both institutionally and at retail, it forgets the fees along the way, the costs along the way, the taxes. We need a maroon carpet in the family room and the rest of it. What should we do with the lawn, dear? Maybe you're making that conversation up over the Labor Day weekend to try and improve the Mats. Brad Case of Middleburg, they're just absolutely brilliant. Couple program notes, Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, they're out with new software soon. I don't know when that happens, but soon. And on YouTube, subscribe to Bloomberg Podcasts. You go to YouTube, search Bloomberg Podcasts, you subscribe, and we're there every morning. We're working on a new checklet where Lisa Mateo's front and center, which is probably a smart strategy. We'll see on that. But the answer is YouTube is really working for us. Good morning on Bloomberg Radio, Bloomberg 1130 in New York and Washington as well. Wonderful FM signal in Washington. And coming September 3rd in Boston, a ginormous signal, 92.9 FM in Boston. On Apple Podcasts, this is Single Best Idea.